with the Sony a6500's terrible IBIS failing to compensate for the slightest body movement. Illustrated by following this piece of performance art in Tape Britain, I decided a gimbal was required, and the Moza AirCross was purchased. The AirCross is too cumbersome for casual art gallery use. Well, that was a quick appraisal. As stated, the Moza is too big to transport to and ponce about in art galleries. Some galleries may also think it appears a little professional and resembles a tripod, which are rarely welcome in UK art galleries. Never mind, I'd also bought it to film footage for the Glasgow Wandering 2 video and future architecture shorts. Have I mentioned I'm hopelessly in love with Glasgow? Moza sell the gimbal with its own hard-shell plastic case, nicely lined with sponge. This is great for travelling, but far too bulky and heavy for casual use. You wouldn't want to wander 15 miles around London carrying it. When I shot Sculpture in the City 2018, I broke the gimbal down, wrapped it in a towel and transported it in my camera bag for the train journey and walk from King's Cross to the city. The weight placed an unwanted strain on my bag, however, and I feared the shoulder strap would fail, so removed the Moza, built it up and hand carried it after reaching the Barbican estate. I replicated this transportation method to shoot Free's Sculpture 2018 in Regent's Park a month or so later, but opening the bag to assemble the gimbal in the park, I realised I'd left the mounting plate at home. This channel is a shambles. The gimbal's most common use for me is panning with the joystick, be the pan horizontal or vertical. If time is not an issue, connecting a phone and utilising the app allows for smooth remote pans. If your phone doesn't lose the Bluetooth connection, which my Samsung S7 does when more than a metre or so away. For walking, I tend to utilise Your Follow mode with a quick response time. General thinking is if your camera possesses in-body stabilisation, it should be deactivated for gimbal use in case it conflicts with a gimbal and produces unpleasant warping effects. But Sony's a6500 IBIS is so poor, I haven't noticed any issue with leaving IBIS activated.
Angie adored Roxy music. She also adored Kenny, or the concept of Kenny at least. She got drunk at a party and fell asleep in a bed where people's coats had been dumped. Woke up to find Kenny and a girl next to her. They were going at it like 90. My heart broke, she said. Heart broken at 17. Life was all over. I empathised insincerely.
The joystick selects the 4 basic modes. Single press activates Your Follow. Double press tilt and Your Follow. Triple press locks all axes. And quadruple press enables roll follow. Holding down the joystick and triple pressing the power button enables Inception mode. Inception mode allows you to hold the gimbal horizontally and rotate the camera via the joystick, which can be quite effective walking or used to cut to another scene. With the supplied control cable connected to the camera, one press of the gimbal power button commences video recording and another single press ceases it. Double pressing the Moza's power button takes a photograph, but you can't take a photograph when the camera is in video mode with this method. To shoot in inverted mode, manually rotate the camera against the gimbal motors into position. This action feels wrong, like allowing an idiot Team Sky believer to cross the road unaided. I prefer to power the gimbal off, set position for inverted shooting, and then power back on. A dummy battery, allowing the camera to be powered by the gimbal's battery, is available, and the Sony a6500 needs all the power help it can access. Its battery life is rubbish. The gasket on the gimbal's foot is a poor design. Opening the foot crimps, misshapes and dislocates the gasket, resulting in an uneven base. The gimbal will compensate for this lack of trueness, but Moza should rethink this arrangement. Another issue encountered was the captive thread into the battery holder that the tripod screws into wasn't captive. While performing an auto-calibration, the thread unscrewed and the camera nose-dived onto a wooden floor, resulting in copious swearing. I Loctited the thread and haven't experienced a repeat of this failure, but am conscious of checking the thread before every use. Sometimes the gimbal becomes confused after prolonged periods and multiple mode changes. Switching off and on rectifies the confusion, however. The AirCross has its foibles, but is overall an excellent gimbal, offering a plethora of creative options, or if your imagination is as feeble as mine, reliable for pans and walking.